to ask you about that because, you know, I think it's so interesting when, like, you were saying that you did the album, you really did it for yourself, and then it becomes this, you know, hyper successful, super commercial thing, which of course I imagine has its upsides.
Yeah.
But the Brat thing just permeated the entire culture. Was that this summer or last summer?
It was 2024.
Okay, so for me, I was like, when Kamala Harris changed her Twitter thing to the Brat thing, I was like, okay, wow, this is, and I wondered how do you sort of respond to that as an artist?
Well, it's interesting because I am really, really interested in marketing.
Right.
Like
right.
I'm really interested in product and how people communicate product. Like I find it fascinating, and also how, you know, like sort of art combines with capitalism, like because it just does.
God,
you know,
true, yeah.
I find all of the combinations of those things really interesting. So it's funny because as a voyeur, I'm quite fascinated by that. But also when it is actually your own work that's really, really personal, it does feel quite scary to see sort of like, you know, like Pret-a-Manger do their like Brat version of their, you know, it's like, it's
sandwich.
I don't even know. It was like they had a lot of like Pret Brat style posters and you know, it's no bad thing, it's just interesting. I'm like, oh, okay, like this has become this kind of like easily adaptable this thing that can kind of be applied to like multiple different brands and
because what is it, the nucleus of Brat? What is the word that would describe what that sentiment meant?
It's sort of like volatility, you know, and mess and insecurity and confidence. I think that's the sort of trigger of it, you know. It's like, I think when people are brats, it's coming from sometimes a place of defense and insecurity. That's the performance of it. And maybe it appears confident, but that confidence is there to sort of hide something else, you know. Sometimes it really truly is just confidence, but I think that's sort of the essence of it, you know.
Speaking of the marketing thing you touched on, so I read that you read everything about yourself, which is so brave and meta and like...
I don't anymore, to be honest. Yeah. I used to, and then I kind of like tapped out of that. But yeah, once upon a time it was brave. Now I'm like, get it away.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah, I can't. I haven't done it since I'm like 22 years old.
Right, okay.
Like, I can't. It just, yeah. And maybe I'm interpreting something here, but I love this idea that you were sort of able to chew on all aspects of your public perception and not be like impugned or hurt by it, but sort of use it to understand who you were and then make adaptations from that point.
Well, it's like what I was saying earlier. It's like I find the whole thing so meta and interesting.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And I think it's like, it's very interesting to see what people feel is real versus what people feel is a performance. It's really interesting how context can be removed and reapplied. I just find the whole thing fascinating. And I think, you know, social media obviously brings in this element of every single person having a voice and a lot of people having really loud voices, which sometimes is great and fun. Sometimes it's really scary and horrible. Yeah. But I find the sort of the kind of like riot of it all quite fascinating. Because I also always think in like 25 years, will people care or remember? Like probably not. Everybody will be sort of doing something else.
What will remain then?
I have no idea. I think good art will remain always. I do believe that. I think good art, no matter what scale it's on, there's always, I think, a certain level of documentation of good art. Yeah. And, you know, people who have had influence, no matter how like big or small they are, I think generally speaking.
Or what the noise around them
Yeah,
was.
I think good art remains. You know what? I think with wellness, actually, it's like, I feel like there's a lot of pressure around wellness
Yeah.
to sort of subscribe to a certain type of lifestyle and do things in a certain way. And sometimes I can really feel the pressure of that.
It's gone crazy.
You know? Yeah. And I actually just think, for me, it's like, if I want to live the longest, I just have to be happy.
Yeah.
And I have to be
That's absolutely
free.
right.
And I have to not feel the pressure of living my life in a certain way.
Yeah.
And so right now, for me, there is a lot of partying involved. Will it be like that forever? Probably not. But it could be. I don't know. But like right now, it's like, that's where I get a lot of my source of inspiration. When I go out and I meet people and I'm in it with someone and I'm, you know, I get lost in this like fantasy world. And for me, it's such a huge source of, inspiration for my writing that if I cut that off, it would be like cutting off a limb.
No, of course.
You know, and I would be so sad. I would be so unhappy if I wasn't able to kind of absorb all of these different people and feelings and moments. So
Yeah, enjoy that. You know,
I gotta live in it a bit
and
longer.
you have to mine that for as long as it's giving you life and inspiration
Yeah.
and